Hola amigos, this is level 12 and today we are going to be doing which Undertale character matches the Hetalia characters. I have been wanting to do this video for 4 days and I'm finally getting to do it and I'm so happy because I like Undertale and I like Hetalia. I'm just like, oh yeah. Now before we get into the list, and also there are no specific order, literally in the order that I could remember Undertale and Hetalia characters, and I was like, let's go with it. Of course I did research, but you know. Okay, so some disclaimers and some headcanon. So, just Sans isn't in this. I couldn't find someone that matched Sans' personality at all, so he isn't in this. And also, along with that, not every Hetalia or Undertale character is in this, because I was very critical on who I matched with whom and who I put in here, so not everyone is in here, because I know there's a lot of Undertale characters and there's a lot of new Hetalia characters that haven't been put into the anime yet, and I've yet to read the comics. I might just binge on them before school starts. And some headcanon stuff. For me, Frisk is a girl, and I will use she, her pronouns, and Kara is a boy, and I will use he, him pronouns, because that's just easier for me than they / them. I know some of y'all are gonna get triggered by that, and I'm just like, I don't care. These are headcanon stuff. I don't care what you think. And like, Kara isn't even on the list, so you can also get upset about that, because everyone's gonna get upset about something because it's Undertale. Also, again, these are in no particular order, except like maybe 1 or 2 of them. Anyways, so the first one to start is Toriel and the Ukraine. Toriel and the Ukraine I thought were pretty similar because they're both very motherly. When we first meet Toriel in the game, she tries to, how do I phrase this terrible wording in my brain? She tries to help the main character and mother them because she's a very motherly character. She had a kid, and she becomes a teacher if you play the pacifist route. And the Ukraine acts like a very motherly big sister to Russia and Belarus, especially when they're kids, when Ukraine gives Russia a scarf. And I thought that was really sweet, and I thought that if Ukraine was ever around a kid, Ukraine would be like just this motherly figure. Like, Ukraine is mother, like bump mother Russia, mother Ukraine. Anyways, next is Metaton in Poland. So, Metaton kind of confuses me a little bit, but we're just gonna roll with it. This is the Metaton we're rolling with. They are both very fabulous characters, and I don't know what Metaton is. I don't know if it's a he or a she or a they or a them. I don't know what it is. We're gonna go with it. Fight me again on that. I just like to think as Metaton as a dude, and he likes to dress in really feminine clothing, kind of like Poland does. And I'm just like, they're both these two sassy characters, and they both like dress very fabulously. I love that word, fabulous. And they're just so over the top and flamboyant. And like, Metaton has his own game show, and Poland has a pony, and he tried to ride into this Halloween costume with his pony, and he felt so bad he couldn't take the pony with him. I love Poland's pony. Anyways, so Alphys and Canada. The reason these two are pretty similar is they're very, very forgetful, and they're both weebs. If y'all didn't know, Canada is a very big weeb, and mostly a Naruto weeb. Because he asked Japan one time about the throwing stars, and Japan was like, well, they don't really do much. You can just kind of hit them with your katana. And Alphys is like, when we meet her, and whenever she updates her status, she's like, having ramen with the cat girl. And I'm just like, oh, Alphys. And when I was looking at pictures for Alphys, because a lot of people like to draw her really cool looking. And while I was looking one where she wasn't as cool, you know, more true to her character, I found a bunch of pictures where she was either like the shy otaku, like, hey, you want to talk about anime, or the cool up in front otaku about it, let me tell you about this fabulous world called anime. And I thought, well, they're both shy and very forgettable. Like, Kanna, whenever we see him, he's a literal ghost. And whenever we see Alphys, she's quiet and shy, and she has like always this nervous look. And they're both weebs. You gotta love the weebs. Anyways, Frisk and Japan. Now, these two are both very stoic characters, and the point of the little human falling down, I don't think it would, I know it's not supposed to have a gender, but again, Frisk is a girl. Headcanons. But these are both very stoic characters. We know more about Japan than we know about Frisk. We know Frisk is good, and Frisk is the one you play when you do the pacifist route, and just the main thing that made me think that these two were really similar is they both don't have facial expressions that much like Japan. There's this one meme where, like, oh my gosh, Japan can get angry, when I think he's yelling at Greece and Turkey. And so I just thought, well, these two characters are pretty, like, neutral to everything, and pretty meh to everything. Maybe Switzerland might have been a better pick, because Switzerland is, like, neutrality, but, you know, Switzerland has more angry face than, Frisk does, so, you know. Undine and Germany. These two are like my, well, technically Papyrus is my favorite Undertale character, but whatever. But Undine and Germany, they are both these two powerhouse people that are really good at fighting and really boss-like and really amazing. And when you fight Undine, in the genocide route, she isn't the... Frick, Sans is the hardest one to fight in the genocide route, but Undine is up there too as hard bosses to defeat. And even in the pacifist route, she's kind of hard to defeat. And Germany, like, Germany is Germany. He is a brick house. Like, he is top-notch in military when we see him. He's the only one with a good defense whenever we see him. Like, everywhere else is just, like, not as good as defense as Germany. And in the Paint It White movie, I think if he hadn't been distracted by the Italians, he might have stopped the pictorials from taking... I think they took a cathedral of his? I can name every landmark except for his, and I felt really bad about it. Anyways, and also what made me think they were similar, they both have, like, a person they're trying to train. Undine, it's Papyrus, and Undine realizes that Papyrus will never, like... He thinks he will be able to be like this great guard, and Undine just realizes that Papyrus isn't built like that. I mean, he's a skeleton that won't come out of his Halloween costume. So instead of forcing him like Germany does with Italy, forcing him to train, she teaches him how to make spaghetti. Germany, he is kind of soft on Italy at times, but he's also very strict and tough and tries to like make Italy realize, hey, you have to fight, this is a thing. And I thought they both had like a very caring nature to their charges. I almost said prodigies, and I'm like, neither of those are prodigies. Anyways, Papyrus and America. I love Jacksepticeye's Papyrus voice and his Flowey voice. Anyways, so Papyrus and America reminded me of each other because Papyrus is like, oh, I'm gonna catch all the humans. I can't do a Papyrus voice, but just imagine like your favorite Papyrus voice. And then America's like, I'm the hero. I can do this. I can do that. And I'm just like, well, if America was underground and not, you know, well, technically he isn't a human, but not in a humanoid form, he probably would be like Papyrus and trying to stop all the humans. And then, like, they're both good guys. Like, they don't, like, kill each other when they immediately see someone. America, and they both like food. Like, Papyrus is more like Italy in the fact that he's like spaghetti, but still, they both like food. And I just thought, like, well, they're both really, like, this hero trope character, like the lovable loser type hero, and it's just... neither of them are really good at what they do. Like, no offense, America, but Germany will kick your butt any day of the week. Along with Russia. Like, America, just no. Next is Flowey and Russia. Now, with this one I struggled because I couldn't decide if Russia was more like Flowey, Azrael, or Kara. So I talked to my friend who is a very big Undertale fanatic, and I gave her the description of Russia without directly telling her who this description came from. A, because she doesn't like anime, and B, because she already kind of knows who Russia is because I talk about him a lot at school. So I just gave her the description, and she replied that the description I gave her was most like Flowey, and I put sadist, doesn't know he's a sadist, something else that was very descriptive of Russia, and she just replied back Flowey. And also, I picked Russia because he likes sunflowers, and Flowey technically is a sunflower. I think his full name is Flowey the Sunflower. Like, come on. And as stated the description I gave my friend, they're both sadists. They're both, like, these characters who really do terrible things to other characters. I mean, Russia gave Lithuania plenty of scars, and I think he imprisoned Bulgaria and did some rather yaoi type things to him. I think it was Bulgaria. There's some game, some official Hetalia game, and it's like a bad ending if you get it. And I want to play that game for that single CG, but let's not talk about it. And I'm just like, because Undertale, the only way you get the really sadistic characters is if you play the genocide route. So I was like, well, I also asked her if Kara popped up if you played the neutral route, because that would kind of be like you're an unknown, like, because if you play the neutral route, you don't get like an extremely happy ending, because you do end up killing some people. And it makes me think, is Russia more like Kara if Kara were to show up in the neutral route, because you don't know that killing animals or killing like the monsters you fight ends up screwing you over in the end? But that was just me. And then finally, how could I forget? My favorite thing that you find is Frogget, but I couldn't find anything to match him. But anyways, Tsundere Plain and England. Now, little fun fact before we do this. So I typed in Tsundere Plain because, you know, that's the name of this character, and I typed it into the Undertale Wikipedia to make sure I spelled it right. And then when I changed it and then went on to type in the England part, that little red squiggly line came up, and I was like, well, what are you gonna make me change it to? Because it usually Google, at least Google Slides will recognize anime words because I've used them before, and it's understands that this is just a lingo I use. So when I clicked on it, it just separated the words. It said Tsundere with an E space and then plain, and I'm like, Google is becoming my otaku friend, and that made me laugh so much. But anyways, Tsundere Plain in England. Now in Hetalia, we know that England is the biggest tsundere out there. Some would argue Romano, but I don't care. I like when England went up to Germany and had the flowers and was looking down and like, please be my ally against Russia, and then Germany just shut the door on him like, no, I am in comrades with Russia, go away. And then he goes up to Japan with the same flowers and be like, be my comrade. And then Japan was like, alright, I don't like Russia either. And then he's like, well, it's not like I want to be in alliance with you or anything. And then Japan was just looking at England and his tsundere stoop, and Japan was like, Mr. England's tsundere levels are off the charts. Quality Hetalia. How could I leave out this important bit right here? Like, best characters. Oh my gosh. I love Undertale and Hetalia so much. Anyways, that was it. I did try to do Napstablook, and I'm like, well, there's a combination of Hetalia characters. Like, the 3 characters that I was, putting together for Napstablook was, Switzerland, because Switzerland's a hermit. Prussia, because Prussia is a hermit, and basically for the same reason. And then Austria, because Austria likes music, and I thought Austria was a hermit, but he actually does try to go outside. And then no one fit into the category where Napstablook doesn't like to battle, and I felt that was a very big character point. And I did go around to different Hetalia characters to see, well, who doesn't like to battle, and it's, if you're a nation, you're gonna have some form of war. Like, you cannot not like battle. Like, it's not a thing that's possible, or else you'll get taken over really easily because you're really weak. And some would argue Liechtenstein, but she's really bubbly and goes out there. She isn't like Napstablook, who's kind of just depressed and anxietal in his house. Oh yeah, that's also why I wanted Prussia, because Prussia has social anxiety, kind of, which is why he stays locked in his room 24/7. But if you wanted Napstablook in this, because I really did try to put him in there, I just didn't want to have 3 characters for this one Undertale character. Napstablook is like a combination of Austria, Prussia, and Switzerland. Basically. So, anyways, like and subscribe for more anime and otaku related content. There is a blooper reel of this. So stay tuned to the end. There's a blooper reel. It's a very bad blooper reel. Anyways, ciao, chicos! Next we have Flowey and Russia, my two favorite sadists. Now, Flowey is not my favorite character in Hetalia. Kill me now. Comparing the thing to, I just thought giving her a description would give her a more unbiased mind, because I couldn't unsee what... Ah!